I had long been campaigning for them to be married at the beginning of the season when we met with the writers. I pitched a story where they would get married, and they said, ah, and I said, well, it's COVID. We could really use some uplift. And they didn't want to do it at the beginning of the season, but eventually they came around to the idea that that joy was needed. So having all the cast there, having everybody in the room, it was a lot of herding cats. It took an enormous amount of planning. If you could see all the drawings and the diagrams I had, and how long it took us just to figure out where people would sit so we could make certain camera moves that moved through the room and caught all the conversation. And then we had the dance sequence, which was a blast, where we just let everybody take their turn in the circle. And I think maybe we did it 3 or 4 times altogether. Hilarious. I mean, we were tearfully crying. It was so joyful. And then in the end, the bittersweet ending of us finding that Maya has been dethroned while she's blissfully dancing with Karina and actually touching her in a very way. Yes, as it's going on was just so sweet. And that was the end of my tenure as an executive producer. After that episode, I was stepping away from the show, so I would no longer be a producer at that point, but I promised I would come back and do episodes as I did. So when it finally ended and we all took our pictures, there was also a poignancy to it because I was sort of leaving my baby for greener pastures, hopefully, and only visiting her in lockdown every once in a while. But so that's the one that I think is most vividly burned into my scalp.